Recording in progress.
I'll call to order the special council meeting for the Corporation of Brunel and Dr. Ragland, this 26th day of August, 2022 at 3:05 p.m. I will do roll call. Councillor Banks.
Yes.
Councillor Young.
Here.
Councillor Kelso.
Here.
Councillor Rutledge.
Here.
All councillors present. Second resolution is the council for the Corporation of Brunel and Dr. Ragland adopt the agenda as amended to include item 4.3 surplus equipment. I need a mover on that. Councillor Banks, seconder Councillor Young, all in favor,
Yes.
Yes.
and that is carried. Disclosure of pecuniary interest with any of the matters before us today.
There?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have one, John?
I'm there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, council meeting on August 26th, John Rogers, I declare a pecuniary interest on letters of preference and preference. Benefit from the meeting held August 26, 2022.
So nobody else?
No.
Okay, seeing none. So the purpose of today's meeting is to address a special events application for Camp Walden. And the resolution says that we, the council for the Corporation of the Township of Brunel, Lendock and Bryan, hereby approve the special event application for Highlands Music Festival at Camp Walden. Do I have a mover on that? Councillor Young, seconder. Councillor Rutledge. Any questions on the resolution of any from council?
Have they held this event in the past?
I can't even answer that if this is something new.
Well, I can, through the mayor, this is a new event for,
And is it a one-day event or?
I believe it's multiple.
No, it's long, yeah,
3 days.
September
Okay,
30th to October 2nd.
and there was no issues from the staff with it?
Well, the only issue I was gonna bring up is, when they said they turned down the music, how, like, when they say that, how far are they gonna turn it down? 'Cause one time they had one up at Walter's Farm. And Sunday morning, that music was still blasting, you could hear it miles away. So what do they mean by they're gonna turn down the music?
I would assume that they would be turning it down to maintain the noise limits prescribed.
That's their file.
I think did they not say there they were gonna
All they
turn it
said,
down
is-
by 1 AM?
yeah, but what do they mean by they're gonna turn it down now? Are they going to just turn it down a bit, or are they gonna turn it down enough that they're not going to interrupt the rest of the township back there?
So is that something we want to implement into the bylaw? Because it's not in the bylaw. There's not a time. I didn't see it. I looked through it.
Is not according to legislation, the quiet hour, 7 to 11. So it would be 11 o'clock at night, not 1.
But I think you're being fair going to 1.
Because I might be wrong, but did the Maple Cross not have an issue that they had to terminate their music at 11 p.m.?
Any complaints?
I just know like with the fishing income, like, I mean, if you have an event going and legally they can go to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, most. say most
Established.
Public facilities. or whatever, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think that's probably when you're getting their
Information.
1 o'clock from, so. As far as the rest of what they need as far as letters of compliance, certificates, et cetera, those have been supplied to the municipality. So,
No, I was just wondering what they meant by they turned the music down now,
and I guess,
because like they said,
and in all fairness, I guess that's a question for them to answer if council so wish an answer to that.
because like I say, you know, what, they had that one up there on,
Yes.
well, you were there too, me and you both toured the facility. I mean, it was nice when we were going through there Sunday morning.
Yeah.
It was just ringing. I mean, it was the same thing over and over and over again, like, holy cow.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, if that's the case, if council wishes to, for them to address that certain aspect of the application,
I think they should.
okay, and they could probably give some answer then. Like, I have no problem with, personally, I have no problem with the application.
Oh, neither do I.
It seems to me that council simply wants a clarification on.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes,
That's right.
I'm
Yeah.
fine with the application, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering though, if with the bylaw, if we should have a timeframe in there.
So,
Because depending on the weather and the air pressure and all that, music can really carry.
Well, look at down at the bluegrass, how much it carries.
Yeah.
I mean, on a still night, I can hear it up in my place.
Do you complain about it?
No? Because if I go inside, I can't hear it. Yeah, but if I go inside, I can't hear it. Then I can, like I say, I can barely hear
And Jordan, when you guys have dances here, I mean, the neighboring houses must hear the music.
Yeah, I don't remember encountering complaints.
And you guys go till 1 a.m.?
Generally, one
But it's inside too. Is this gonna be outside?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the, if it's inside, it's one thing. If it's outside, it's another.
There, summer operations there, they do have outdoor things with kids,
With music?
with music and staff that go later in the night. but- So that's-
so I guess there's kind of two parts to this for council then. So the first part is kind of a clarification on noise reduction.
it.
And the second issue that was raised by Councilor Calvo was you did not see a time within the bylaw itself.
No.
So perhaps that's something we could ask staff to look at. It's an inclusion of an update of that bylaw, that specific bylaw. At a future meeting, if council's fine with that.
Well, I have no problem if they go beyond 1 o'clock, as long as it's,
Yeah, no, I know your concerns.
it's not bothering
Yep.
people, that's all.
So if there's no more questions then on the original resolution. All those in favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's carried. Okay, so now we got one down to number 4.2, and we have the resolution. on the Waste site bins, council for the corporation, Councilor Bruno and Dr. Michael approve the amended quotation for 3 by 40 yard bear-proof waste containers for $62,400 plus HT from S&L Waste Tech Inc. and further authorize the operations manager to sign the quotation. So I need to move around the resolution. Councilor Banks, a seconder, Councilor Calvo. I know there is a staff report that goes with this resolution, so I will allow Jordan at this time to speak to that.
Thanks, your worship. Just wait for the report to load here.
Yeah, mine went blank actually.
And like-
Oh, is that right? I can't even pull it up. Oh, here we go.
So it's on the screen too also.
Yeah.
So you need to see it.
Yeah.
So originally, I came to council with a report on quotation for 3 40-yard airproof waste containers that council had passed. After approving that, I went back to the manufacturer and finalized everything. At that time, it was realized that the design of the particular bins that they were quoting us on were not going to fit our stalls that we currently would be putting the bins into. The bins have a 6-foot-high wall, and the doors on them were going to be on the sides, and they wouldn't be allowed to open properly. So with the redesign, the bins are still going to be 6 foot high. However, there's going to be a peaked roof on top of the bins, instead of a flat roof, and there's going to be doors on top of the bin. So with the redesign, extra steel, and etc., the quote jumped up $10,650. Talking with the other vendor that quoted us, they don't offer a airproof style bin. The lids that they have on theirs are plastic.
Oh.
So, we passed. It seems to be one of the only designers that are making their own airproof, actually, and calling it airproof. On top of that, we did receive the dump box this past week for the roll-off truck, and it's being used at our waste sites. If you've been there recently, seen that it's in use. Great to use that truck. Council in agreement with additional funds to buy these bids.
What's the delivery on this?
From us today approving this, 6 to 8 weeks. The dump bin itself was supposed to be 4 to 6, and it was no time.
From the same manufacturer?
Same manufacturer. And looking at the bin we received, really good quality. Built fairly heavy and it should last for a number of years.
So then we don't have a problem with the additional $10,000 in our budget?
I allowed, so council approved up to 120,000 for the purchase of the roll-off.
Okay,
We used 55 plus taxes and like, et cetera, to buy the truck. And the remaining was to buy the bins. So with this, we're over budget a little bit. But you'll note that, see it in your surplus report next, that the compactor truck has a bid on,
okay,
and I propose that we use that to pay for the overage.
okay, sounds good.
Any other questions, council?
Well, in the back, are we gonna be oil, is buried underneath?
Yes, so when we get our undercoating done, we will spray them and keep them lasting a lot longer.
Good plan.
Council?
No.
In favor of the resolution?
Yes.
Carried. We're now down to 4.3, and this is a report on surplus equipment, and this has to deal with the surplus equipment that council declared surplus and put up for auction or such.
So through the mayor, I did advertise the items that we declared surplus. It closed today at 2 o'clock. 2 items were placed on Gov Deals. The other ones were advertised locally. I did have a family member that bid on the items, a couple of the items, so I'm gonna step out of the room. Tammy has a report.
So I guess in your case, John, if you could, I guess you should be now, we'll discuss that item.
So the items advertised locally, we received 4 bids. On the 2 times 40-yard waste containers, we received 1 bid for $1,000, which met the minimum bid requirement of $1,000. We received 1 bid for the 2004 Kenworth compactor, in the amount of $25,521, which exceeded the reserve bid of $18,000. We received 1 bid for the 1997 International Palau truck for $2,500, which did not meet the minimum bid of $8,500. We also received 1 bid for the 1981 Massey Ferguson tractor for $1,500, and which also did not meet the reserve bid of $8,000. On Gov Deals, the 2008 Ford Focus sold for $575. They had a minimum bid of $500.
Okay.
And we received the top bid on the 97 Top Bid fire truck. It did not meet the reserve amount of $10,000, and the top bid was $3,450. This truck has been advertised with the used fire truck broker since December of 2021 with no interested purchasers. Winter's coming, and it's not a good idea to leave it sitting in the municipal yard. Gov Deals also contacted Jordan and said they can't offer to the bidder if council wants for the amount of $3,450.
views on a couple things? So I guess what we're gonna do, we'll discuss one item at a time.
Right, do you want to start with the waste containers and then?
Yes.
And then John can come back.
So the lot of 240-yard waste containers received a bid of $1,000, meeting the reserve bid amount, council approved or adopt.
Well, if there was only one bid, we got our minimum. There's no sense of hanging on to them,
No,
that I can see.
So the way they do resolution for that.
That's what John did on,
Well, I don't know.
It's,
we're not allowed to know who bid on that.
yeah,
Oh, I don't know, I just said, I don't know who bid on
that can be, yeah. That can be disclosed. So,
All right, so John Rutledge bid $1,000 on the waste containers. Resolution, we accept that.
okay. Yeah, John. could be-
should we do the resolution for?
them. Jordan, that's what I was wondering, yeah, and then we both bring a motion.
No,
Well,
I guess
John should sit in on
Jordan,
the rest of them.
no, John's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resolution for that.
Okay, okay.
What is it for me tonight?
It's for $3,000, I think I could leave it in the fire truck sitting in the yard.
And we'll discuss
I
that.
know, I know.
We'll discuss each one individually.
Yeah. Neither do I.
Brings some cool when we come in here.
Okay, so the first resolution then coming up that says that council for the corporation of Township of Greenville and Raglan accepts the bid for $1,000 for the 2x40-yard waste container by John Rutledge. And the mover on that, Councilor Banks, seconder Councilor Young. Questions or call for the vote, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes, that is carried. So we have, Councilor Rutledge to come back and then we'll do the other two items. So the other two items that council has for consideration is the 1997 International plow truck, which we were given a bid of 2,500, but we had a minimum bid of a minimum resale of, I guess, $8,500. The other was, of course, the Massey Ferguson tractor, which we had a bid for 1,500, but we had put an $8,000 minimum on it. So I guess basically council's choice is to accept or put these, now these were advertised locally. So what our option for that, we can put those on dump deals.
That's what I figured.
I think we should put them on documents.
Yeah.
Okay?
I guess that's a big drop in the tires,
Yeah,
or
it
that
is.
much.
Heck, you could probably go to the scrapyard and get more for them.
Doesn't bother as well.
Okay, so the resolution that says that in regards to council's discussion, the council for the corporation township of Blue Island, North Reading directs the operations manager to advertise a 2022-03 plow truck and 2022-06 tractor on gov deals as no bids were received that met the reserve bid. So I need a mover on that. Council Banks, seconder. Council Coughlin, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And that is carried. So the next item we had was the 2004 Kenworth. The bid was for $25,521. Reserve bid was $18,000. So. Resolution here, we'll discuss that. Okay, so the resolution says the council for the corporation of Township Green Island, Dock and Writing accepts the bid of $25,521 by Hillary Kuchkowski from the Township of Madawaska Valley for the purchase of the old Ford Kenworth compactor. Mover on that, Councillor Young, seconder Councillor Banks. Any discussion on the resolution?
No?
None? I'll call for the bid. All
Yes.
yes, and that is carried. And so now I guess we have a couple more items, of course. One more council will have to make a decision. So the Ford Focus, So the 2009 F-250 required dump truck and plow, we never got no bids on. So the next option for that would be those updates. Because that was one of the bids, correct?
How much were they asking for?
Minimum bid 5,000.
That included the plow on it?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we kind of got to decide, I guess, the Ford Focus, we did get $50 or $75 above the bid we had asked. Okay. And the fire truck, of course, was way under bid. 3,450, we're asking for 10,000, and that was on the bids. Council's thoughts on the.
Well, I think 3,000 is better than nothing. I mean, what's the use of letting it sit in the yard and rot? Or ask a scrap dealer what they give us for it. They won't give us more than 3,000.
Still an operational truck, right?
Yes, so it does have a few years of life left on it. The issue I can see is the transmission being manual, nobody wants that anymore. It was advertised on the fire truck broker for, well, since December of 2021, when we announced we were the Jager. No interest whatsoever. So, no deals. Up with you. So council has the option of rejecting that bid or accepting. We can still accept the highest bidder.
What do you think, if you don't mind me asking?
I think for it to sit here in the yard and winter coming, it's not going to be good for it. So I will proceed. I was hoping for more, but I also was hoping for more to root more.
But like I say, what would a scrap dealership give us for it? Like, is the engine good?
Well, it's got,
No, but does it burn oil or anything? How many kilometers does that want?
7,000.
Yeah. But I mean, iPhone,
All the tires and there's a,
like iPhone, a scrapyard, they might give you more.
$3,000 for the tires on it.
Well, that's what I mean. And then there's
I
probably,
can, check the Dixie Truck Center, they can buy used vehicles like that, park them in.
yeah, that's what I
See
think.
what they would offer us for it.
True.
And if it's less than the deals, then
I would take the gut deals.
we want to do a resolution about that.
Well, yeah, may as well. There's no sense of differing around with it.
No. And the longer it sits, the less the value is.
That's right.
But the motor of that, what, you have to buy this motor for it.
Well, that's what Jordan said. That place he was saying they part things up there. You know? I mean, even if we get $500 more, it's $500 more.
And if it doesn't, then
Then accept the value.
And accept the deals.
Yeah.
Okay, so the resolution says that council for the corporation township Brunel and Lochray directs the operations manager to find out if he can contact other sources to sell the 97 ton pick fire truck prior to accepting the gov deals bid. So how do you move on that? Councilor Banks, seconder, Councilor Young, any more further discussion? Not, and I'll call for the vote, all in favor?
Yes.
And that is carried. I believe that ends our reports. So it's. Okay.
75
Room
dollars.
and mobile trucks there. Because there's been 2 old Fords from back there. Shouldn't get rid of that scrap.
So I don't know if Jordan has any-
I directed our works foreman to contact the scrap dealer and get
So it's totally useless? Like you couldn't even sell them gut deal or anything like that? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're like. So I'm just asking. Oh, are they?
The Fords,
It's nice. to
Yeah, I know
see
they're
that.
Fords.
Let's not get into
Yeah,
it.
we're not into that.
Those Fords are just as good as a Ram.
A little track here. Okay, Council. Okay, so that's all of our open. Yes. Okay, so right now we do have to, we have a closed session of council. The resolution says that we, the council for the corporation of Township Brunel and Lochray Raglan, go to closed session pursuant to the Municipal Act 2001, section 2392. For the purposes of subsection D, labor relations or employee negotiations. And F, advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose in section 2393A, consideration of a request under the Municipal Freedom of Information and Protection Privacy Act, if the council, board, commission, or body is an institution of the purposes of that act. And I will move on that. Councilor Elfeld, second, Councilor Rutland, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
And that is carried. We're going to vote. Good. Okay, so the resolution says that the council for the corporation of Township Brunel and Lochray Raglan come out of closed session at 4:47 PM. And you move on that, Councilor Banks, Councilor Young, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay, so during closed, there was, 2 issues discussed in relation to labor relations or employee negotiations. One item that was advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege, including communications necessary for that purpose. And one consideration, information under section 2393A, consideration of request in the Municipal Freedom of Information and Private Protection Privacy Act, council, board, commission, body is an active institution of the purposes of that act. So the next resolution says that we, the council for the corporation, contemporary bylaw, Corporation of Township of Brunel and Mark Ragland hereby adopts bylaw 2022-43 being the bylaw from proceedings of the August 26, 2022 special meeting council. Any mover on that? Councilor Council, the second, Councilor Banks. All in favor?
Yes.
And that is carried. Adjournment of this meeting adjourned at 4:48 PM. I need mover on that, Councilor Yon, and the meeting is done.
I would like, if you